So this is my third video about going back to art school, or art homeschool as I'm calling it, and I've made some major changes since we last talked. In fact, I actually, this video is a week behind schedule because I needed to make some changes to what I was doing. So for the first 4 weeks, I was just grabbing things off the internet and I was like, I'm gonna practice this, and I'm gonna practice that, and I'm gonna practice this. And I started kind of building out my own curriculum. And the thing I noticed is that for a day or two, I do really well. I'd practice for 20 minutes here, I'd practice for a half hour there, and then I might go 2 or 3 days without practicing, maybe a week without practicing, and that's just not gonna cut it. I needed to take this more seriously. And if you saw my video on my main channel, I talked about how my artwork sucks, and that's kind of my new starting point for this series. I'm kind of doing a soft reboot here. And I got so much amazing advice from that video. And I think the main thing for me is I want to focus on a curriculum that forces me to draw every single day. So I got this message from Seth Taylor. It's pretty long, so I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he said something that really resonated with me, which he asked, what is your goal? You said your goal is to be better, but what does it mean to actually be better? And to be completely honest, I do not have an answer for that. But he really got me thinking about how intentional I have to be. I can't just take little pieces here and little pieces there and practice. I really need to be intentional about this. So I've backed away from some of the figure drawing I've been doing, partly because it was really challenging and I thought I need to learn some other basics first. So I've been focusing on a course called drawabox.com. It's a website, but it's fantastic so far. And this is going way, way back to the basics. And what I love about it is that it has focused homework that I can do every single day. It's also completely free, so you don't have to pay for it. What I like is he starts with the fundamentals of making a mark on a page. How to hold your hand, how to draw from your shoulder and less from your wrist and less from your fingers. And he gives you specific things you can do to make your stroke drawing better. So that is like lesson 1, is drawing these lines over and over and over again. And then you move on and he talks about this concept called ghosting, where you're pretending to draw the line or practicing drawing the line with your pencil before your pen or pencil actually hits the page. What you see me doing here in the background that I'm playing in this video, it's still a pretty early lesson, but it is drawing planes. And just in the 4 days that I've been doing this so far, I've gotten so much better. The first day when I practiced these things, it was horrible. Now this is my 3rd day doing these, and it's so much easier for me to draw a line that looks straight. It's so much easier for me to draw a line that intersects the other lines. It's so much easier for me to draw a line that starts in one place and actually ends where I want it to end. And the great thing about this is not every line needs to be perfect. That's not your goal. Your goal is to practice drawing and turn that drawing motion that you're doing into muscle memory. So the first day's homework is fill 2 full pages up with superimposed lines, create 1 full page of ghosted lines, and fill 2 pages with ghosted planes. When I started this, these all looked horrible, but when I went back the next day and started to do it again, I could clearly see that I had dramatically improved. Just yesterday, I started moving into drawing ovals, and here you see me drawing ovals over my planes. Those ovals look horrible, but those ovals actually look better than what I was drawing yesterday. I've also moved on to drawing 3D boxes without a ruler. I just started that today. Again, these look horrible. This is really, really hard. But I think in a day or two, when I go back to this exercise, it's going to come to me a lot faster. And overall, I've been spending, I would say, about 2 hours a day practicing this stuff. So this is a pretty serious time investment. And part of it is it just takes me forever the first time going through an exercise to get used to doing the exercise. The goal of each one of these exercises is to do them in like 15 or 20 minutes. But that's not gonna happen on your first try. It's gonna take several tries. But then going back, that becomes your warm-up, is going back and practicing these lines. So what's cool about it is that I can see progress already. I can see that I am doing the homework better today than the way I did it yesterday. So even though these don't really look good, this isn't something I'd want to share on Instagram or brag about, I can clearly see myself getting better in tiny, small ways. And when you can see yourself getting a little bit better at one little thing, it gives you that encouragement to go on to the next thing. And even though you're terrible at that next thing, you're like, well, I was terrible at the other thing a day or two ago. All I have to do is keep practicing. So it reinforces that practice schedule. So if you are following along, I'm going to say think of this as day one and go to drawabox.com. They are not sponsored. It is free. I get no money from this. I just like it. And it's working so far. And there's a lot of stuff to watch there. But watch the first thing, find the very first homework assignment, and I will link that up down below. And he's got videos and descriptions and everything. Watch those first. Then do the homework assignments, and I would say block out about 2 to 3 hours when you start this at the very beginning. So maybe do it over the weekend or whenever you have time, a good block of time. I had to turn off my podcasts or my music, and I had to really just focus on this for a block of time and just follow the homework assignment. 2 filled pages of superimposed lines, 1 filled page of ghosted lines, 2 filled pages of ghosted planes. They also have a Discord server. I've been posting my work up on that, and I've been getting really good feedback about how to improve and that sort of thing. That's the other thing I really like about this is the community aspect of it. Another huge piece of feedback that I kept getting on my last video that art school gives you that is hard to get on your own is one is that discipline of forcing you to do something every single day to work on a project and just draw. And the other thing is having a community of people to compare your work to. And the Discord forum gives you that. It's not going to force you to draw every day like a school would, but at least you get that other piece, that forcing yourself to block out an hour a day to draw, that still falls on your shoulders. No one's going to be holding you accountable to that except yourself. But overall, I'm really liking the structure of this. I mentioned in my video that I got Proco gave me like their course to try out for free, and they gave me a promotion code and said, help us promote it. And so far, that is a great course. But the one thing I learned as I started into that is that I was not ready to get started on that. If you feel really comfortable with everything in Drawbox, then you could jump to something like that right away. But the one thing that became abundantly clear to me as I started the Proco Anatomy course was that I needed to go to a level down and practice other things before I even got there. So anyway, that is what I'm working on, and that is what I'm doing well with and not doing well with. That is my update for the week. I will be back in 2 weeks. I'm going to be probably just plowing through assignments on Drawabox for the next 2 weeks, and I'll tell you, where I am at the end of that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.